Hey, what's up, Spooky fam? Today we are doing part 2 to my favorite non-horror movies. In case you guys are looking for something a little more lighthearted, I won't say completely lighthearted, but something that's maybe non-horror or not scary so that you guys can watch, you know, in case you're in the mood for it. I do have a letterboxd list that I am making and updating for this series as well, because there will be a part 3, but if you would like to follow that, I will leave it linked down below. Other than that, please go ahead and check out all of my links down below if you would like to see any more or support the channel any further. Let's get right into 10 more of my non-horror favorite movies. Starting off at number 10 with a movie that I've seen it 4 or 5 times now, and that is The Departed from 2006. To take down South Boston's Irish mafia, the police send in one of their own to infiltrate the underworld, not realizing the crime syndicate has done the likewise. And I cannot tell you how much I love this film. I first saw it, I think, in about 2013, and I rewatched it in 2019. Fell in love with it, like fell in love with the movie so much that after watching it, I immediately went back and rewatched it because I loved it so much. And then I made Alex watch it again this year, and it really does not get old. We also watched Infernal Affairs, which is the film The Departed is based off of, but I like The Departed a lot more. At number 9, we have Jawbreaker from 1999. 3 popular girls pretend to kidnap their friend by shoving a jawbreaker in her mouth to keep her from screaming. The girl swallows the jawbreaker, choking to death. Now, the leader of the pack will do anything to keep the accident a secret. And this is another film that it has so much rewatchability to me. And now that I'm older and know who Darren Stein is as a person, like, this film totally checks out as a Darren Stein film. If you guys watch Dragula on Shudder, you know who Darren Stein is. Okay, this is a movie that I have seen when I was in beauty school, back in like 2012. I would go to bed with this movie on every single night on my PlayStation, and I would let it play all night for like a year. And that is Pitch Perfect from 2012. Becca, a freshman at Barden University, gets invited to join the Barden Bellas, the school's all-girl a cappella group. They take on their male rivals in competition. And when I tell you, I know this movie word for word, almost, like I would say 95% front to back. It's annoying. It is so annoying. It's annoying for me because I can't watch it without wanting to recite the whole thing and like do all the dances, you know? Like, I can't help myself. So these next 2 films actually go hand in hand for me because, well, they make this list because they were the first 2 films that I experienced at my first film festival in 2019. And it was such an amazing experience, and it really like solidified the fact that I am such a movie fan. And the first being Uncut Gems from 2019. With his debts mounting and angry collectors closing in, Howard, a fast-talking New York City jeweler, risks everything to stay afloat and alive. Now, I was actually able to watch this film at home before I went to the film festival. And to just be in a room with a bunch of people, knowing what the ending was myself, but being so enamored by this story, when the final like 10 minutes of the movie were happening, I was just like observing all of the people's reactions around me, and it made me just love that so much more. And then following that up, we have one of the greatest movies of all time, Parasite, from 2019 as well. Greed and class discrimination threaten the newly formed relationship between the wealthy Park family and down on their luck Kim family. And this was another film I didn't ruin that one for myself, but it was a film where the experience with a crowd was such a ride. Like, everybody was excited and cheering and upset, and like we were all just feeling the emotions of the movie, and like that's what cinema is made for. And I just love Parasite so much. I love Uncut Gems. I love that I was able to experience them both at a film festival. Fantastic. And number 5, we have a film that I would recommend if you have not seen it. Like, seek this movie out immediately, and that is Sorry to Bother You from 2018. In an alternate present-day version of Oakland, telemarketer Cassius Green discovers the key to professional success, propelling him to a universe of greed. And this movie goes so off the rails. And when you see Armie Hammer's character in this film, you're like, okay, of course he's playing this guy. But it's such a fun film to watch. And honestly, like Keith Stanfield, like that was the role that really made me love him as an actor. Next up, at number 4, we have a very recent watch that quickly became one of my favorites, and that is Theater Camp from 2023. An eccentric staff of a rundown theater camp in upstate New York must band together with the beloved founder's son to keep the camp afloat. And if you just like a very, like, the comedy is so good. If you like Shiva Baby, like Molly Gordon was in Shiva Baby, she's in this, she directed it. Like, the cast is so fun and so stupid. It is such a weird, stupid, it is very Wet Hot American Summer-esque, and I love it. It's a mockumentary. It is so funny and so dumb, and I love dumb. I love stupid. I love dumb, stupid humor, and that's what Theater Camp is. It's camp. These next two have been my favorites since I was a little girl, starting off with Sugar and Spice from 2001. A popular high school cheerleader gets pregnant and turns to crime to support her lifestyle. And this we actually rewatched not too long ago, and for me it holds up. I loved it. Like, as an adult, I think I love that movie just as much as I did when I was a little girl. And at number 2, we have Heathers from 1989. A girl who kind of wants to be a part of the in crowd meets a rebel who teaches her a more devious way to play social politics by killing the popular kids. And this is another film I love so much. I have the soundtrack on vinyl. The musical is fantastic. Like, I just love Heathers. Christian Bale in Heathers. If you know, you know. It's just such a fantastic, Christian Bale, oh my god, what am I talking? Christian Slater. Christian Slater in Heathers, if you know, you know. It's just such a fantastic film, a fun, another very campy film. I love, like, Why No Forever. Winona Ryder is amazing. And very last here, another more recent favorite, and it is a movie called Strawberry Mansion from 2021. In a future where the government records and taxes dreams, a dream auditor gets caught up in the dreams of an eccentric woman. And this movie is just so, it's lower budget, but the effects and the heart and soul that go into this film, it is so good. When I think of an indie film, this is what I'm thinking of. It is so, like, I was a pool of tears by the end of it. And I highly recommend Strawberry Mansion. I even did a painting and named it after that movie because it really affected me. Like, it's such a unique situation being in like a distant future with like dream audits. It's almost 1984 in like a more wholesome way. But I really enjoyed that movie and I would recommend it. So like I said, the letterbox for this, the list is linked down below if you would like to follow along. Perhaps try and watch all the movies on the list. Let me know if you've seen any of the ones that I mentioned. I will see you guys very soon. Sayonara, spooky fam.